Good evening, everyone. I'm live in the 21 News Weather Center, and it's turned out to be a damp late afternoon period today after a long break in the action from midday through the first half of the afternoon. Rain showers have pushed back in. Here's a look at the regional radar, valid as of about 4:45 this afternoon. A lot of moisture swirling around low pressure here. The blue colors indicate snow. The green is rain. And as we look at the Cleveland radar, here comes some more rain pushing in from the south and the west. Most of this is pretty light, but our evening commute definitely a damp one. That's the Cleveland radar. Here's the Pittsburgh radar, picking up on the mostly light shades of green pushing across the Mahoning Valley and into western parts of the Keystone State this evening. We'll see these rain showers off and on through the evening, and then maybe some snow showers for later on tonight. Tower cam shot is definitely a damp one this evening. We got raindrops showing up on the lens here, and again, rain is affecting a lot of the region. Here's that wind visualization map that I like to show a lot of times. Easy to pick out where low pressure is here. It's right there, and air continues to kind of swirl around that area of low pressure. We've got generally a southwesterly breeze in most of the Ohio and Mahoning valleys this afternoon and this evening, but the air is coming in out of the north and west across the Midwest, and as our low pressure system moves east, the wind direction will change here as well, more northwesterly by tomorrow and certainly by Friday, and that is always a cold wind direction for us. So definitely a downtick in the temperature coming up at the end of the week and heading into the weekend. In that long interval of dry weather we had earlier today, we had a few breaks of sun. It brightened up pretty nicely, but those have filled back in. It is a slate gray overcast on this late afternoon visible satellite shot across Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky, West Virginia, western Pennsylvania as well. You have to head east of the Appalachian Mountains before you find much in the way of clear skies this evening. Let's take a look at a computer model, a short-range computer model that'll take us out through this evening and the overnight. Generally, what we should expect to see on the radar is what this model will show. This starts at about 4 o'clock this afternoon and runs through tonight. More green blobs showing up on this computer model right through tonight. Now, things become a little more scattered, a little more intermittent, if you will, through the overnight hours, so it's not going to be a tremendously rainy or snowy night in a lot of the area, but there will be scattered rain and eventually snow showers to contend with tonight. Accumulations tonight, I think, are pretty minor. It's not out of the realm of possibility someone gets a coating, especially on the grass tonight. I think the same kind of forecast holds true for tomorrow. Roads tomorrow should be wet, but there'll be several rounds of snow showers around, and someone may pick up a half an inch or maybe an inch worth of snow, especially on those non-paved surfaces. Let's project forward through time now and head towards tomorrow and Friday. Here's tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m., a lot of light greens around the area, indicating snow showers will be pretty common. Now, they'll become less common by Friday. This is Friday at 1 p.m. Notice the highest concentration of green is actually across the lower Ohio Valley on Friday, up across northeast Ohio, western parts of Pennsylvania. Sure, there are some green areas showing up here indicative of snow showers, but they are definitely a little more scattered Friday compared to Thursday. And then we look at Saturday, and notice not much is going on at all. Despite how quiet this computer model does look on Saturday, I do think it's still pretty cloudy as we kick off this first weekend of March. I want to draw in the jet stream configuration here as we head into the weekend. It's going to look like this. Big dip in the jet stream coming for the weekend, and a very, very late season freeze is definitely a possibility down across northern parts of Florida. Some people might be heading out on spring break into the Sunshine State by this weekend, and boy, it's going to be awfully chilly. A place like Orlando may not get out of the 50s one of these days over the weekend, and overnight lows could be down into the 30s. So a very unusual late winter trough digging all the way down into the Gulf Coast. And as we head towards the end of the weekend and beyond, our weather stays quiet here Sunday night, and then heading into Monday. Notice still not much going on. A storm will start to gather strength out across the Plain States on Monday. That looks like it'll kind of weaken as it comes east and perhaps dive south of us. So by Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, could be some snow down in Tennessee, parts of the western Appalachians, chilly rain down into Georgia and South Carolina, but aside from a few flakes of snow, this doesn't, at this point, look like a big deal for us during the middle of next week. Now, the models have, as they typically do this far out, they've been waffling around a little bit. This morning's run, or last night's run, that is, of this same computer model had a much bigger storm along the eastern seaboard next Wednesday. This same model, the European model, does not really have as big of a storm during that same time frame next Wednesday. Notice most of the precipitation holding out to sea. Maybe there's some snow up in Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, down into the Delmarva Peninsula, but Again, these computer models are going to definitely waffle around a little bit this far out. We're talking about a week from now. So we'll be keeping an eye on this system. What eventually the end game is with it still is up in the air. But the bottom line is that our weather here is looking pretty darn quiet for the next 7 days. Let's talk long range temperatures. We've been talking about how cold it's going to be at the start of March. This takes us all the way out through mid-March. This is the 15th day of March on this computer model at the very right side of the graph here. Notice what's going on. Generally below average temperatures for the most part through about the 7th of the month. And then this model does kind of hint that we may go above average, or we'll try to anyway, as we head towards the middle of March. We're going to try. Now, we may not succeed, but at least we should be a little closer to average for a couple of days if this model is correct during mid-March. But the bottom line is, most of the time, the first 2 weeks of March, it's going to be very, very chilly by March standards. Definitely a pattern more reminiscent of early February rather than early March. So spring is a long way away here across the Mahoning Valley. I don't expect any sort of true spring warmth to hit until at least the third week of March, if not beyond. I'll be on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11, of course, and Jess will be on tomorrow morning. Be sure and tune in and check out our redesigned webpage, wfmj.com/weather. Great weather video, including this one, and also some clips from our newscast and all sorts of good stuff on there. So check it out and have a great night.